So I was thinking about something, and I think one thing that we have to do is just be willing to learn from probably some of the least expecting teachers, right? And what I mean by that is not like physical teachers. Everybody is just always teaching us something. But I think, sometimes we have to sift through a lot of the chaos and a lot of, the things that can offend us and see if there's really a lesson in what it is that, we should be learning, right? And so, I think about it like, on one of my other channels, when I was doing like my music reviews and stuff, um, I remember when I first got started, not really learning how to talk, not really knowing how to talk. And even still, I'm not the best at talking, but I just remember one of the people who had commented on my videos, dude was just like, hey man, I really wanted to listen to the review and the things that you were saying. He said, but he said, man, I heard so many damn uhs and ahs and all this stuff in it. And, like he said, man, I couldn't even concentrate. I couldn't listen to, the review because you had so many damn uhs and ahs and all this stuff in here. And so, immediately, I got offended and I'm, getting on my phone and I'm just like, man, I'm about to type this message back to this dude or whatever. And I'm like, you know what, let me calm down real quick, right? And so, I'm like, ah, man, in my mind, I'm thinking, dude, man, bro, whatever, so whatever. Anyway, man, I was so hyped and so mad at the moment that, I was just frustrated. I was thinking of every like clever response to be able to send back to this guy, right? Um, but I ended up going back and watching the video. And I'm like, dang, boy, I had so many uhs and ahs, like it was like frustrating to me. But what I had to do is just figure out, how to go through and edit all of those mistakes out of the way. So I even had to learn how to speak better. And so I think, being humble, and even though, the way that he came off saying it was probably harsh, I still had to filter through everything that it seemed like he was saying on the outside and figure out like how can I get better in this situation. So I think, that comment is a thing that really stuck out to me and really pushed me to get better because even though he might have said it harshly, it was a lesson in it. And so I had to calm down. And then, when I replied to him, it seemed like a fake response, but it wasn't really. But I was just like, thanks for, the input and, I'll work on it. And I did work on it and I got a lot better. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but I've gotten a lot better. And so being able to move on from that video and seeing, how much like the hard talk from this person helped me out in so many areas. Like I find that to be the case in a lot of areas in life. Sometimes your lessons from other people may come in some strange ways. It may come in, you've gotten into a confrontation with somebody, you've gotten, into a situation to where somebody might have said something to you that it felt wrong, but in all honesty, it was right. I think the maturity level for all of us is to, grow from it. Like you have to ask, like, is this person correct? Like, or what was this person actually trying to say when they did communicate? They may not be the best communicators, but is what they were saying or what they were trying to communicate, is that right? And so I think, if you can find out, like, get past all the surface, offenses, get past of all the other things, let your guard down and, really question and ask yourself. Somebody may have said something to you in the wrong way. Um, but I think, if you can sift through that and try to see, like, hey, regardless of this person's communication style, is what they saying correct? And if it is, then find a way to fix it. And, so just understand that some of your lessons in life may come in some of the least expected ways. Um, But yeah, just be willing to learn. Look around, see your surroundings, and be able to learn from it. Even when it comes to the situation that you might be in, instead of asking, why am I in this situation? Ask, what is it that I need to learn in this situation? So yeah, I hope this is helpful. And if it is helpful, go ahead and share it with somebody you feel like can benefit from it. Also like, and then also subscribe. Follow me, whatever, depending on whatever platform you are on. But yeah, anyway, I'm Damien, and until the next video, I'm out. Peace.